Hey, welcome to Lakers News Fan Report. This is the best place for the newest updates, big news, and really deep talks about our favorite team, the Los Angeles Lakers. Today, I'm telling you something that could totally change our dreams of winning a championship. It's something people have been talking about quietly. Right now, most fans are only looking at our winning streak. We have 18 wins and 7 losses. We've moved up to the third best spot in the Western Conference, and LeBron is still playing amazing, even though he's much older than most players. But here's the truth every real Lakers fan has to think about. Are we really good enough to win everything this season? That's the question that is keeping the team bosses awake at night. That's the question they are talking about in private meetings. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today, because there might be a trade coming that could lift us up from a team that just tries to make the playoffs to a team that people think will actually win the championship. Stay with me for this whole talk, because what I'm about to tell you will change how you think about our team and how we can win our next championship. Let me start by saying where we are right now as a team. The recent win against the Phoenix Suns was everything we love about Lakers basketball. It was a tough fight, very exciting, and we won in the end. But if we are being honest with ourselves, that game also showed some of the problems we are having. We are winning games, for sure. But are we beating teams by a lot, the way championship teams do? Are we making other teams play our way all the time? Or are we just barely winning close games that could have easily been losses? These are not fun questions to ask, but we have to ask them if we really want to try for a title. The Western Conference is completely full of great teams this season, and just keeping our team the same might not be enough to get through the very tough playoff games. Our team's bosses understand this better than anyone, which is why they are always looking for chances to make the team better. The time when you can win a championship does not last forever, especially when you have a player as good as LeBron, who is already playing much longer than people thought he could. We cannot afford to waste seasons. We can't afford to look back later and feel sad, thinking about what could have happened if we had been more brave. The time to do something is right now, while we are playing well, while we have players that other teams want, and while there are important players available who could really make us better. This isn't about making trades just to get people's attention. This is about smart team building made to give us the best chance to win a championship. When you are looking at players you might want to trade for, in today's NBA, you are looking for special things that help you win in the playoffs. You need a player who can do many different things. You need a player who is good on both offense and defense. You need players who can guard different kinds of players and can make their own shot when the game gets slow in the playoffs, after the regular season. Being young and athletic matters because playoff basketball is played with more energy, where players with fresh legs and fast moves have advantages that older, slower players just can't match. You also need players who fit with our team's style, who understand what it means to play for the Lakers, and who really want to show how good they are on the biggest stage. Those personal feelings are just as important as how many points they score. There is a young player in this league right now who has every single one of these things I just said. Someone who has been stuck in an annoying situation, even though he has amazing body skills and a lot of potential. This player is getting different amounts of playing time every game. His job on the team is not clear, and his coaches don't seem sure about how to use his best talents. Does this sound like something you've heard before? It should, because we have seen this happen before, where talented young players get stuck at the bottom of a team with many players, and they only become great once they are given a real chance on a different team. The difference between a good player and a great player is often just about the situation, about being in the right team system with the right coach who believes in you and lets you be your best. Let me draw a picture of what our team needs for the future. We need another exciting wing player who can create offense, play defense very well, and take some pressure off LeBron and Austin Reeves. We need someone who can drive to the basket when defenders run at him, who can finish with dunks near the rim, and who gives us that explosive athleticism that makes other teams nervous. We need a player who is young enough to be part of our team's future, even after this season is over. Someone who can get better together with our main players and help us stay good, even when LeBron eventually starts to play less. That is a very specific kind of player, and there are not many players in the league who fit it just right. But there is one name that keeps coming up when I talk to people who know the league. One player whose situation has gotten so bad that a trade seems like it has to happen. The Golden State Warriors are having a big problem figuring out who they are right now. They have 13 wins and 14 losses. They are having trouble playing the same way every game, and they are dealing with tensions inside the team that are becoming easier to see with each game. Their head coach has been making some confusing choices about who plays, putting young players on the bench during important moments and choosing older players even when they are not playing well. This has created problems. This has led to unhappy feelings, and this has opened the door for other teams to possibly come in and take advantage of Golden State's troubles. When a famous team like the Warriors starts to show problems, when talented players become available because of team problems and not because of how they play, that's when smart teams make their move. There is a 22-year-old forward on that Warriors team who is putting up okay numbers, even though he doesn't play the same amount every game, and his job is not clear. This player has shown moments of being absolutely brilliant. Games where he looks like a future all-star with his mix of size, athleticism, and skill. He is 6 feet 7 inches tall, with arms that stretch 7 feet wide. He can guard different positions. He is an explosive finisher near the basket, and he is still getting better at shooting from outside. Those are the pieces you need to build a top-level wing player who is good on both sides of the court in today's NBA. The exact kind of player that championship teams are made around. The problem is not his talent, it's his situation. And that's where the Lakers could possibly step in and change everything. Imagine our starting group of players with this kind of player added to it. You would have LeBron running the offense as the main passer. Austin Reeves continuing his great season as a real second creator. And this young wing giving us that explosive athleticism and ability to play different kinds of defense that we have been missing. The space on the court would be great. The ability to play different defenses would be top level. And we would have several players who can make their own shot in playoff games when the game gets slow. That's the kind of team building that wins championships. That's the kind of group of players that can play against anyone in the Western Conference. And that's exactly what our team bosses should be trying to get. Now, let's talk about the truth of making a trade like this happen. You don't get important players without giving up things you have. And the Lakers would need to let go of some players who have helped us win this season. Rui Hachimura has been good for us, giving us the ability to play different defenses and score points efficiently. But his contract situation makes people unsure about his long-term future with the team. He is making $18.2 million this season on a deal that ends soon, and we have not given him a new contract yet. which tells you something about how much the team bosses value him compared to other possible moves. That ending contract becomes super valuable in trade talks because it gives other teams freedom with their money while letting us get a better player. Dalton Knecht was our first-round draft pick, and while we are happy about what he could become, his problems at the start of the season have been worrying. His shooting numbers are low. He doesn't seem confident, and he isn't getting steady playing time in our group. Sometimes young players need a new beginning. They need a different place where they can get better without the huge pressure that comes from playing in Los Angeles. Trading him now while he still has worth as a recent first-round pick makes more sense than watching his trade value go down more. It's a business choice, and championship teams make tough business choices when chances come up. The money part of this possible trade works just right. The player we are trying to get makes $22.5 million this season, which fits nicely with the added-up money of Hachimura and Knecht. We would also need to include a draft pick to make this deal interesting to Golden State, probably a future first-round pick that gives them more freedom to build their team again or change their team around. That's a big price to pay, for sure. But when you are trading for a 22-year-old who could become an all-star and who fits your plans and your team system perfectly, you pay the big price. The other choice is doing nothing, hoping our current team is good enough, and possibly wasting another year of LeBron's best playing time. Let's talk specifically about what this player would bring to the Lakers that we don't have right now. His athleticism would be easy to see right away, giving us a player who can catch alley-oop passes and finish fast breaks, turning our defense into offense in just seconds. His ability to play different kinds of defense would let us switch which player we guard more easily to play against the best wing players in the Western Conference and to cause trouble with our height and athleticism. His rebounding would help us control who has the ball, especially getting our own misses, where second chance points are very important in close playoff games. And his continued getting better as a shooter and ball handler shows that his best basketball is still coming, which is exactly what you want when you are giving up a lot for a young player. The cultural fit is another thing worth thinking about. This player has been on a championship team. He understands what it takes to play at the highest level, and he really wants to show how good he is after not being used enough in his current situation. Coming to Los Angeles, playing next to LeBron, learning from one of the greatest players in NBA history. That's a chance that would make him get better faster and bring out the best in his game. We have seen this happen before, where young players become great in Lakers uniforms because of the coaching, the team culture, and the expectation to win championships. There's no reason to think this situation would be any different. From Golden State's point of view, this trade would give them more players ready to play right away and freedom with their money. They would be getting two players who can be in their regular group, Hachimura and Knecht, who could help right now, plus a draft pick that helps them plan for their future after the Steph Curry time is over. Hachimura's ending contract gives them choices in the summer. While Knecht is a young player who can shoot and could grow into a useful player under their coaches, it's the kind of return that makes sense for a team that is clearly having trouble with the team they have now and needs to make changes to stay good. The coaching part is really interesting to look at here. Steve Kerr's recent way of treating this young player has been confusing to people watching the league, putting him on the bench in important moments, giving him less playing time even when he plays well, sending unclear messages about his job in the group of players. These are not the actions of a coach who is dedicated to helping a young star grow. These are the actions of a coach who is choosing trying to win games right now over helping a player get better for the long time. That difference creates a chance for teams like the Lakers, who can give a clear job, steady playing time, and a plan for getting better that makes the player the best he can be. Our head coach would totally love having this kind of player in his team system. The ability to play different defenses, the fast break scoring, the skill to guard different positions and switch who you are guarding. These are all things that fit perfectly with how we want to play. We would finally have enough wing players to play against teams like Denver and Phoenix, who have several top-level players on the outside. We would have the athleticism to play fast and make easy baskets on fast breaks. We would have the defensive versatility to use different plans and change to whatever other teams try against us. That's the kind of team flexibility that championship teams have. Let me talk about the big, obvious question. What would our list of players look like after this trade? Our first 5 players would have our main ball handler, Austin Reeves, who has been absolutely amazing this season. LeBron, playing as a forward, who can do many things. This new young wing, giving us athleticism and ability on both offense and defense. And our starting center, protecting the basket. That's a group of players with amazing balance, with several players who can create shots, with the ability to play different defenses, and with the shooting to spread the defense out well. Our backup players would still have good players, with older guys who know their jobs and young players who keep getting better. It's a group of players good enough to win a championship that could play against anyone in a 7-game series. The schedule for making this kind of trade is important to understand. Trades for players who were just signed usually can't be done until the middle of January because of NBA rules about matching salaries, which means we are looking at a possible time for making a deal starting in just a few weeks. That timing actually works just right because it gives us a chance to watch our current team through the first half of the season while getting ready to make a big improvement before we push for the playoffs. The trade deadline is always crazy, with many teams making trades at the same time, and being the one to act first instead of just reacting gives us a better chance when we are talking to other teams. The player I'm talking about is Jonathan Kuminga, the 22-year-old forward who has been stuck in a bad situation with the Golden State Warriors. This is the move that could change our chances of winning a championship. This is the getting of a player that fixes our biggest team needs. And this is the kind of brave, thinking-ahead trade that championship teams make when chances come up. Kuminga has everything we are looking for in a player we want to trade for. Youth, athleticism, ability to play both ways, and huge potential that has been held back by his current situation. Bringing him to Los Angeles, giving him a clear job next to LeBron and AD, that's how you make the most of his talents and raise our chance to win a championship. The trade people are talking about would send Rui Hachimura, Dalton Connect, and a 2031 first-round pick to Golden State in exchange for Kuminga. That's a big package of things to give, for sure. But when you are getting a player of Kuminga's level and potential, you pay the big price. We would be getting a 22-year-old who has already shown he can help in playoff basketball, who has the body skills to become a top defender, and who is still getting better at the offensive skills that will make him a complete player. This isn't just borrowing a player for a short time. This isn't a quick fix for right now. This is putting a lot into a player for a long time, who fits our plan to win a championship perfectly. Think about what Kuminga would mean for how much we use LeBron. We could play LeBron fewer minutes during the regular season, save his body for the playoffs, and still keep playing at a high level because Kuminga can handle a lot of work on offense and defense. Think about the defensive matchups in playoff series against teams like Denver, Phoenix, or Dallas. Kuminga would give us the ability to try different things against their star players, to switch which player we guard across many positions, and to keep playing hard defense for the whole game. Think about the fast break chances we would create with his athleticism and ability to finish at the basket. These are the small things that matter in playoff basketball. These are the small wins that add up over a 7-game series. The money results are also worth thinking about. Kuminga is signed to a contract through next season, which gives us time to see if he fits and make decisions about his future with the team for a long time. We would have what are called his bird rights, which means we could pay him more money even if we are over the salary cap if working together goes well. Kuminga's highest possible level is much higher than Hachimura's. His timeline fits better with our plans for the future, and his group of skills fixes more of our team's needs. Put all your thoughts in the comments below because I read every single one, and I really care about what you think about these huge team choices. If you liked this deep talk and want to know about all the latest Lakers news, trade talks, and inside information, make sure you are subscribed to Lakers News Fan Report and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. I'm bringing you stuff like this all the time, explaining the moves that will decide our championship future. Give this video a like if you thought it was helpful. Share it with your other Lakers fans, and let's keep this talk going. We are working towards something special in Los Angeles, and I want you here for every part of this trip. Let's go, Lakers. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. We're doing awesome. Please subscribe if you like the videos. Thank you again. See you in the next one. Have an awesome day.